Welcome to Virtual Geography 178, or Geography Conservation of the Environment, taught via the virtual environment. What you're looking at right here is the home page of your course in D2L. D2L is the means at which I teach this course. It's where all the content of the course is housed. It's where you submit your assignments. It's where you take your grades. It's where you engage in discussions. It's where you're going to find links to videos. Everything that you do within this course is going to be done within the context of D2L, so therefore it's going to be very important that you know how to use it. What you're looking at right now is the home page. The home page right now for me doesn't have any news items because the course is new. As the semester goes along, you might see news items here posted that might relate to a glitch in an assignment. It might relate to a date that I needed to revise. It might relate to something I changed based on user feedback. This is a very good way to find out what's going on. However, the main component of the course is going to be your content page. The content page is where all of the information is going to be located and how you can maintain your schedule. Now there is a course calendar that you can see up here, but what you want to just keep in mind is that the course is taught via modules. What you have up here is general course information. You have a syllabus, a schedule. The schedule is very rudimentary. This is just to give people who are not enrolled in the course an idea of what's covered. The modules are how you want to follow the class. Each module lasts 1 week. So if you click over here, if you look over here, you would see this began on September 3rd at 12 o'clock a.m. What you want to do is you want to budget your time accordingly to take those 7 days and read and conduct the assignments, whatnot, in that 7-day period. You have them from midnight on Mondays until 11:59 p.m. the following Monday to complete each module. Each module is broken down in terms of lecture material, assignments, quizzes. Sometimes you don't have assignments, sometimes you might not even have a quiz. Sometimes you don't have a lecture. Oftentimes you do have one of each of those, at least one of each of those. What you have right here in Module 1 is you have a video and then you have the PowerPoint. This is the same lecture, but this you can watch just like what you're doing right now, a video portion of the lecture. This is so you can go through it on your own accord on your own time and take a look at each one of those PowerPoint slides. Moving on into assignments, these are the assignments that you have for the module. Each of these assignments are going to be due by September 10th in this case at 11:59 p.m. I would encourage you to start on those ahead of time though, not the night that it's due. If your internet connection goes down and you send me an email in a panic saying that you didn't have internet, I very likely am not going to sympathize with you unless you didn't have internet for the entire week. Moving on here, quizzes. Now it's very important that you understand that this is where it says quizzes, this is where it's going to explain to you what is on the quiz. This is not where you take the quiz. So if you take a look at this, this is going to be where it says what the content of quiz 1 is going to be. In this case, I'll click on it to edit it. Well, of course during the tutorial it's taking forever. And if you take a look at this, I have it to edit. This is where you would just get an HTML window, but it says go to quizzes link on the top of the D2L bar, take this quiz. This quiz relates to the content associated with the course syllabus. So your first quiz is going to be on the course syllabus. So you're going to want to look at the syllabus in that general link, and of course you're going to get a lot of information right out of this tutorial. And I'm just going to go back to the content page, and we are back here in content. So here we are in content again. Now I'm in the view content area. Manage content is what I was in before. If you take a look here, we have that quiz and then you have this quiz. So anytime you want to see what the content of the quiz is, you're going to click here. Moving on, we have this second module. You'll see it begins on the 10th. We have Module 3 beginning on the 17th, and so forth. If we go over, let's just take a look at, well, we'll move on into discussions. Now, oftentimes in the class, what I have is I have discussion forums. These are often related to videos. So when you get done watching a video, you're very likely going to have to take a quiz on the video and engage in a discussion. I would encourage you to engage in the discussion before you take the quiz. The reason why is because the questions in the discussion forum are in a way for you to review of the content of the video, refresh your memory, and in a lot of ways, if you put in a robust form of discussion, to study for that quiz itself. I also have a general discussion topics. This topic never closes. This is where in the water cooler, instead of emailing me questions, oftentimes what you want to do is post your question here. Not only do I look at this quite frequently, oftentimes, just like user forums and other websites, one of your classmates may be able to answer that question in terms of what they experienced, or you can see if you're not the only one experiencing problems. If you go on here and you see a thread saying the video doesn't work, well, there's a very good chance that there's something wrong with that website. And then of course I'll see that and I'll have a very good idea that that's the case, and then we'll go from there. You can send me private email messages. That's totally fine if you want to use email to communicate a question to me. But what I would encourage you to do is to use this water cooler, because lots of times the water cooler is, based on feedback from students, one of the best ways to present questions. I look at this, I'll answer the questions, and then that way I can answer the questions to everyone in the class and not just you. And of course there's how to make Virtual 178 even better. Virtual classes are dynamic. It's not static. I'm constantly changing content. I'm constantly changing lectures. I'm changing up quizzes. I'm changing up readings. The reason why I do this is because I get feedback from students. This is where, if you provide me with some constructive feedback, I do listen to you. Virtual classes, as much as many people are against them, are here to stay, and the more input that we can get from these types of things, the better they can be. This is open all the time. However, what you'll see down here is we see something called home project video. This is a video that you are going to watch. This is going to be in the second module of the class, and you'll see it's unlocked from September 10th to September 17th. You can always read this, but you can only post to it between the 10th and the 17th. This is one of your assignments. And so what you do is you're going to post into these different topics in here. Like I said before, this is a means to study for quizzes. Do the discussion before the quiz and go and read through these things. The more information you put down, the more information that you read, the better off you're going to do on these quizzes. Okay, let's move on into the Dropbox. Now sometimes you're going to have assignments, such as your first assignment related to the syllabus, that require you to fill out, often using Word, a series of questions. If you do have something that you do, you have to do it in something that's Microsoft compatible, or you have to save it as a PDF for me to view. If you do that otherwise, you are going to get a 0 on that assignment. I need to have the assignment in a format I can read on this computer. It's one of the things that you have to be compatible with in a virtual class. If you send it me as a WordPerfect file, if you send it to me in some goofy freeware, I'm not going to be able to read it, and I'm just going to have to give you a 0 on it. So if you have doubts on that, just save it as a PDF and submit it as a PDF. Or you can just save it as a Microsoft document, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, whatnot. I have all that on here. Oh, and I also have all the Adobe products. So this is going to be where you submit your assignments if it calls for you to submit it in the Dropbox. You'll see that not all assignments call for the Dropbox. That's because some assignments are related to those discussions. Let's move on into quizzes. Now quizzes are going to be where you actually take the quiz. So remember, in content I was talking to you about how when you are going through the content for that weekly module, you can take a look at what's on your quiz. Well, here's a way for you to actually take the quiz. When you get done taking the quiz, it should be auto-graded for you. When it's auto-graded, you will get your score. You should also get feedback in terms of which questions you got wrong. Now, that's where it ends. You're not going to get the right answer. That's because we have to maintain a certain level of honesty in the virtual environment. If you want to email me, if you want to come by and talk about your quiz, I'm more than willing to meet with you. But that's the extent of the feedback that you're going to get on quizzes. Finally, let's move into grades. Now, grades is going to be where you can monitor your grades, and it's very easy to see how you're doing in this class. In this class, you can look and see how you did on the assignments. Now, sometimes I won't be getting back to you on the assignments right away. You have to keep in mind that I have other classes I'm teaching and I can't get to them right away. I try to get to these right away, but the assignments are something that sometimes you might have to wait a little bit to get a grade back on. Quizzes, however, you will get a grade right away on that quiz. The class is based on assignments and quizzes. It's very straight up grading scheme, and when the class is done, you will know exactly what you have in terms of a course grade based on the feedback from this grade sheet. You can look at the percentages in my syllabus. Okay, so that is pretty much it. We've gone through grades, we've gone through quizzes, we've taken a look at the Dropbox, we took a look at the discussion forum, we took a look at content. The class list is where you have people in your class. Groups is sometimes you might be assigned to a group for something. I don't really do that too much. I might start based on your feedback, but for the most part, this is the most important link for you, and of course the course home to monitor those news items. Thank you very much, and good luck with the course.